Welcome to the Cycle, a small single TC solo duo base designed to fit onto almost any uneven terrain, perfect for the new Rust update. You can opt to remove the compound with this base, reducing the already cheap cost, ideal for PvP and snowballers. One of the best features include a one-way raid-based counter peak similar to the SPHINX. Alongside this, the turrets surrounding the base cover multiple sections including the shooting floor, roof and compound. Inner turrets act as both shooting floor protection and cover into the second floor core. These open core style peaks can also be used by you to clear the base from multiple angles. Retakes are situated to regain control of vital areas, including the 360-degree shooting floor, similar to the SPHINX. This is a great way to defend your base safe from raid bases. These retakes are connected to the cozy respawn area, the second floor, and the bunkerless core. This is ideal for console and PC players, but it can be easily stair bunkered if you would like. Pair this with flank bedrooms within the compound with drop-off storage. The Cycle must be the next base for you. I've got some unique and interesting content coming up soon. If you don't want to miss out, drop a sub or join my Discord community down below in the description. It is greatly appreciated. We start off the tour showing these drop boxes, perfect for depoting loot to get back into the fight quickly. We enter the base through the simple single door airlock, and you can go right or left into each section of the compound. The compound is separated into 6 separate areas, each covered by these turrets above. This is a great way to reduce raider mobility and for you to clear using peaks such as this one, using this shot front. Here we find one of the 3 flank bedrooms, equipped with a locker kit, access to the drop boxes, and medium battery, perfect for splitting power to the turrets. These are all protected by a garage door and double door. We can use these shot fronts to quickly traverse the compound. Here we find one of the other 2 airlocked entrances into the compound. And once again, symmetrical to the other side, we have one of our flank respawn rooms. And on this side we find our main entrance. Here we use a simple single door airlock coupled with an armoured door to increase our raid cost. You will actually find that the turrets inside the shooting floor cover this entrance in case of a door raid. Now we enter the second floor of the base where we have our secondary loot rooms and deployable spaces. This acts as our mini open core as our second floor. As you can see, the turrets from above will cover into this area. These peaks can be used by these turrets as well as the players to clear your second floor. These would be perfect in a door raid situation or a pummel raid. We now drop down into our simple starter core. I have opted to not bunker this circle core as a stair bunker reduces both the living and storage space, while also being inaccessible to console players. We find our TC behind this window here, and here is the main upkeep, and there is only one TC on this base. I'd like to note that this upkeep includes all of the compound on the outside, so you can actually opt to put these on external TCs if you'd prefer, or not build the compound at all. On the third floor we have space for secondary deployables and our main respawn room. We have retakes connected into this main respawn room that we can actually use to clear any part of the shooting floor, including the 360-degree shooting floor above. We can actually use this area to shoot through the shooting floor from the safety of our inner ring. And you will find this on all 3 sides. We now enter the shooting floor through this armoured door. You can opt to use these wooden ramps to gain some decent angles through the shooting floor, but these aren't essential, so you could place boxes here instead. As you can see, the turrets above cover in through these embrasures. As well as this one-way retake, the turret also covers this area. As shown in the preview, this peak becomes invisible at longer ranges. A campfire allows us to get some decent vertical angles from this peak as well. Behind us we jump onto our 360-degree shooting floor area. This is a great place to defend your base from, as it is completely safe from any raid bases. This area is also covered by 3 turrets, but these aren't essential and these can be added at a later stage when you acquire them. You can quickly maneuver around the shooting floor like so, and there is extra storage space underneath these jump ups. As you can see, this is the other side of the ramp peak into our second floor. Here we find some decent long range peaks that we can use with these low walls. This also allows the turrets to shoot back into the base in case of a pummel raid. We find Honeycomb on the roof, and then this area is also protected by these turrets on the outside of the compound. The cone-shaped roof reduces the chance of scrappies and mini-copters from successfully landing for a top down, and there is enough space for 3 windmills. You want to start off the build by placing down these 3 triangles for your starter. You will want to place the TC in the back triangle. By not adding a half-height frame to protect the TC, this will allow you to replace the TC later if it were to be destroyed. As when you place a frame here, it becomes almost impossible to replace the TC. After you've made this simple starter, you will want to expand pretty quickly for more storage space. Once you have done this, you can then add an extra shelf, allowing you to add more boxes. At this stage I will just add the final doors. Of course you can put double doorways at this stage. You want to make sure you add a half-height wall for your jump up here, and then complete it with a garage door on top. Make sure to not fully seal in this area, as this will be our jump up later to the 3rd floor. You can place a double door for now, but I will replace this with a garage door. This is what your simple starter should look like. We will now add permanent access to the 2nd floor so you can actually enter your base. You want to come to this side facing the garage door and add a triangle honeycomb and then a square off the side as well. On this square here you can add a ramp and then upgrade it to stone. Before I continue with the build, I will do some recommended upgrades to the core, and I'll upgrade everything to the final level from now on. I would also recommend upgrading the foundation below the TC from the outside, and this will be easier to access. All of this honeycomb should be upgraded to metal as well. This is what it should look like at this stage. Now we will continue to add honeycomb to the base, coming round to the other 3 sides and adding this triangle honeycomb. On these remaining sides you can add square foundations and map out all the foundations for the honeycomb. You then want to upgrade the foundations in the middle. Then when adding walls on either side, you can then add a ramp like so and upgrade it to metal. I make a mistake here, you should upgrade the walls either side to metal as well, not just the ramp. You will have access to these later in the build, so don't worry if you leave them stone for now. However, it is vital that you add these frames and half walls inside the honeycomb before you add the roofs, otherwise these will not be accessible later. It should look like this, and you then want to repeat it on the other 2 sides as well. This is what it should look like from above. Now on the end of each metal part, you want to add this stone honeycomb here. By adding these stone walls, it will then bring out the other walls, and then you can upgrade them to metal as well. You then want to place a floor on top, upgrade it to metal. This is what it should look like at this stage. On the side opposite the garage door, you should add your airlock entrance. This should open to the left hand side, as this is the optimized airlock configuration. Once you have an armored door, you will add this to the 2nd door. You can add 2 armored doors to this bit if you have them. Make sure the outer single door opens inwards to create the airlock. Now on each side you want to add a full wall on these squares and then half walls and low walls on top like so. Then you add a half-height shelf and then add 2 ramps facing inwards like so. Then you can upgrade the top one to metal. Add a window frame in front as well. These will be our secondary loot rooms and open core style peaks. Then of course repeat this on the other two sides as well. On the remaining two triangles you will simply add honeycomb. Make sure to honeycomb behind the jump up as well. You should be upgrading all of these pieces to metal. Then you can simply add a floor to the top, making sure to leave the jump up open. This is what it should look like at this stage. You can add these frames here and upgrade them to metal, as these will be permanent. If you have any spare gears or spare ladder hatches, this is a great way to seal your second floor from people peeking into your second floor early on into the wipe. You can then just simply pick these up later when you're ready to expand. I believe you can also add a horizontal embrasure facing outwards. This will also cover the top peak. So that would be the opposite configuration to what I'm showing here, but this will be the late stage configuration, so I'm leaving it like this. Before placing the embrasures, I recommend placing the boxes. You want to bring these as far forward as possible. Then you want to add double doorways everywhere else and add garage doors. We will now do the third floor. Expand from the jump up and add a half wall on the left hand side. Then add a single door frame on top, and then wall in the right hand side. At this stage, to seal this area in, you can simply add a single door and then a garage door as well. This will add one more layer of security from above. On this side you want to wall in next to the ramps. Then on the final one we will add a single door frame for our armoured door. Then in the remaining two spots add half walls and then floors on top. These will be for our retake peaks. These actually act as a great early game shooting floor before you've finished the whole shooting floor. Add a floor above as well. On the outside you want to add two low walls on either side and then add a triangle frame. Then on top of this you can add two full walls like so and then add a floor on top. This is what it should look like. This is a decent early game shooting floor, especially if you add some campfires to stand on. You can also finish the top if you'd like at this stage. This is what it should look like. Now we will complete the shooting floor. I would like to note that symmetry is on right now, so you must repeat this on the other two sides. You want to build up the supports from the honeycomb below and then add this retrigger peak by adding the floors next to the window frames. You want to make sure you add a frame here. This will be access to our 360-degree shooting floor. You then want to add frames here and then add your turret pod like so, adding half walls and then a low roof on top. You then want to add this roof here. This must be left metal or HQM. You cannot upgrade this to a skin version of metal, otherwise the one way will not work. You then want to add a triangle jump up just off the half wall. Then optionally you can add these wood ramps just to improve the peaking angles. This is what the base should look like. This is pretty much the base complete at this stage, so you can actually live out of this if you do not want to spend any extra resources on a compound. I do recommend finishing the base as this greatly improves the online defendability. I will now run through how to add the compound. You might want to add turrets at this stage if you have them spare. To start the compound, we will build off this triangle here and then create our airlock. Symmetry is on, so you must repeat this on the other two sides as well. You then want to build up by these frames here. Once you get to this height, you then want to add a floor for your turret, and then surround the other area with frames. This will be for chain link. This is what it should look like. We will now do our flank bedrooms. Note that without stone skin you will not be able to place this foundation. If you don't have any DLCs, you can upgrade this to metal and this will allow you to place the foundation. If you don't want to upgrade it to metal, I'm sure there's a way you can build off the right or left. Once you can place this foundation, you want to build out by these two triangle foundations like so. Then build off these and upgrade this part to metal. Then you want to add a window frame on the right hand side and double door frame on the left. The right hand side will be for our drop off storage and medium battery, and then the left will be for our locker. You can opt to place the drop boxes and medium battery at this stage if you'd like, as well as your bed and locker. This is what it should look like. Now we can simply complete the compound by adding the barricades and walls. You want to build off here with twig to help the placement of the barricades. This will not be upgraded to stone, you can simply demolish this later. We will repeat the same idea here on the gatehouse. The wall placement is very simple, so just follow the steps here. And that is pretty much the base complete. We will now run through some recommended deployables. And that is the video complete. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing down below. It is greatly appreciated.